August from Chronicles here, taking over Chris Chronicles for the day, if I could speak properly. Anyways, we are going over the dumpster fire that was 2017. However, we're going to look at some of our favorite things from it, and that's kind of why I'm taking over Chris Chronicles for the day. Anyways, I'm going to find out what Chris's 3 favorite movies of 2017 were.
3 favorite movies.
All right.
Yeah. So when August approached me about this, I had to do some thinking because 2017 was an interesting year, and it's already over. And welcome back, guys! It's a new year, and yeah, I had to really think like what came out in 2017 that wasn't garbage, that was on fire, hence the garbage fire. So these are in no particular order, but first I gotta go with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was amazing. First, like, real, like, female-driven superhero movie, done very well. Gal Gadot kind of is the embodiment of Wonder Woman, and, like, she's kind of that character, or that actress that, like, she's kind of the Robert Downey Jr. of Wonder Woman. Well,
because, back in the day, was it Linda, who played her?
Linda Carter.
Linda Carter, back in the TV show, and people, like, kind of associated that look with Wonder Woman at that time. No, I definitely feel like this is what Wonder Woman's gonna look like for decades.
Yeah. Even now, like, the comics are kind of drawing her more like Gal Gadot a little bit, like, kind of that face a little less Amazon-y, a little more Gal Gadot-y.
And
does that make sense?
Yeah, I imagine that's gonna happen to all the characters once everything kind of settles down and people stop panicking a little bit.
Yeah.
No, and I think Wonder Woman is, it was fantastic, doing that Under the Cowl episode, like how right they got it.
Yeah, they did so well, and it was so true to the source material, and it, one of the things that we talked about was her origin. There's 2 origins, basically. It's the Maid of Clay, daughter of Zeus. And, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie yet, it was a year ago, so you should probably go see it. How they kind of, like, tied that together was so well done that it really, like, it kind of satisfied fans of the old way and fans of the new way and kind of made its own thing out of it. And I really, really liked the way they did it. So, and I mean, it had humor, it had heart, it had action. It really hit on all things. It was just a good movie. Like, it was a surprisingly good movie. I didn't think it would be bad. I thought it would be great because I loved her in BVS, and it's DC, it's Wonder Woman. I didn't think it would be bad, but it was better than I could have anticipated. Yeah. And I think it kind of took everybody by surprise by how good it was.
And I'm kind of surprised they're not just like putting it in Marvel's face right now.
Yeah, kind of, the first female-driven superhero movie is kind of a big deal. And yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they're not just all over Marvel about it, but maybe it's just because DC's taking the high road and they, they don't need to mudsling and, rub it in their face. They're better than that. Yeah. Well done, DC. Thumbs up.
All right, number 2.
Number 2. This is going to sound like a broken record, but and heaven knows I'm not going to be the most popular person to say this, but Justice League. We're going to stick with the DC movies. Obviously, there are a litany of problems with the movie. It's super divisive, like BVS was. I don't care about all that. I got to see the Justice League on the big screen. I got to see my dreams come true. I got to see Flash interact with Aquaman, interact with Batman, and I'm rocking his symbol today, which is odd considering everything behind us. But it was the best Superman we ever got on film.
Yeah, no. This is finally. I didn't think it was that great of a movie. And like we said, this is favorite, not best, right?
Favorite. Huge difference.
There are a lot of like good things in it though, like that are like there's signs of life in the DCU,
Yeah.
And that being, this was the first time I'm like, oh, maybe Henry Cavill is actually the guy that's supposed to be Superman.
Well, he was so torn and had the weight of the world on his shoulders in BVS and in Man of Steel, and it was, him trying to find his place and very melancholy, but it was like, what happened, and kind of spoiler alert too. Sorry guys, if you haven't seen the movie, Superman's in it. But it was a more lighthearted, a more like, I'm Superman, I'm confident of my abilities and who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing, and just kind of free to like be Superman. And it was great. Like I cheered when he came, like when he finally got there, and when his little interaction between him and Cyborg when the thing happens and there's an explosion and they're both laying there and he's like, I want to be dead again. And like, it was just real, like, kind of a genuine little laugh it got out of me, and I loved it. And I mean, Batman was in it, so thumbs up to that.
No, and I agree. Like, they made him, number one, I want a horror movie that's like Superman just, you know, he's gone crazy and beaten everybody up, like, you know, when he revived, obviously, spoiler, so sorry about that, people.
But if
if
you haven't seen it, go see it right now.
Yeah.
Just stop what you're doing and go watch it. Pause the video, go watch the movie, come back, finish the video.
But, you know, he's got these funny quips, and he's just like, you know, he goes from one where he could be an absolute monster to, you know, he just kind of actually grew as a character for me. Like, you know, I really enjoyed Superman for once on film, you know, and
he grew more in that hour than he did in the previous two movies, in my opinion.
Right.
Like you saw his, like, just the arc of him, like, was very well done. And it makes me very excited for Man of Steel 2 or the next Justice League. Like, whatever Henry Cavill does with Superman, I'm really interested to, like, see where he goes. Because if it's this Superman, it's going to be amazing. If it's mopey Superman, it's really only going to hit with the hardcore fans, and that's not what they need right now. But, I thought Justice League was good.
Well, and, what's his name? Flash. What is the actor?
Ezra Miller.
That's what it was.
Totally blanked there for a second.
He was great. I really liked him.
His facial expressions, like, just, like, his look of... Honestly, he's kind of what I think any of us would be if we suddenly found ourselves with powers in the Justice League. It was almost like shock and awe, like, being around, like, these larger-than-life things and kind of feeling out of place and just having your mind blown constantly. I mean, when he's running around the Batcave, like, sitting in the Batmobile and just that look of, like, glee on his face, that's totally what I would have. Like, if I was sitting in the Batmobile, I'd just die happy, like, right there, so...
Yeah, no, I won't admit it was good, but I had a lot of fun with it, actually.
See, there you go. So. And that's, you know what? That's the whole purpose. Have fun with them. So, my favorite movie. I know I said I wasn't doing these in order, but this was my favorite movie of the year. It.
Huh. That's a surprise.
I don't know. I freaking loved that movie. It was funny. It was terrifying. It was mostly true to the source material. I thought it hit on everything. And, you know, we're kind of 2017 with Stranger Things. It's kind of a big thing. In the 80s are always popular now because of the generation that we're in. Like, man, I just thought it hit every note just right. And, you know, I know this will kind of date the video, but it comes out on Blu-ray on Tuesday. And, I mean, I am counting the days. When Tuesday gets here, I'll be picking it up, and I'll probably watch it Tuesday night. And then on Wednesday.
Yeah, no, I was kind of bummed out I didn't get to see it in theaters. Like,
oh, you still haven't seen it?
I still haven't been able to see it. Just every time I get a chance to go, something ends up not working out.
Yeah.
But from everything I've heard, like, this movie is, like, fantastic, and it's the most profitable R-rated movie.
I believe so.
One of the most profitable, especially horror movie related.
Yes. And look, I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up with the Tim Curry 90s miniseries, and I loved it back in the day, and I love it today. We actually watched it before the movie came out last year. And Tim Curry is Tim Curry. He's a national treasure. He can do no wrong. Everything I've ever seen the guy in, I've loved him in. So I'm not going to compare him to Bill Skarsgård. They were just very different. Skarsgård was creepy, so creepy, but, like, endearingly creepy. Like, he was terrifying, but in a way that I just couldn't stop, like, watching him and, like, really was engaged when he was on the screen. And Cody could attest, like, one of the scariest things I've seen in a movie. Just the creepiest thing. But then the humor, man, that came out of nowhere. Like, that movie would have you pee yourself out of fear and then pee yourself out of laughing. Like, it just... flip a switch, and it's, like, horrifying to hilarious. But it was done in such a way that it didn't feel jarring, and it didn't feel, like, out of place, and it didn't take away from, like, the atmosphere of the movie. I thought it worked really well. So if you've not seen it, go see it right now.
Well, no, yeah. I'm working on it. Don't
worry.
Well, I guess Blu-ray's coming out soon, so...
You know what? Viewing party. You guys are invited. Come on over. We'll watch it together.
So before we wrap things up, do you have any like honorable mentions? Just like a couple other, you kind of like this year.
Oh man, I didn't think of honorable mentions.
I guess
but
I
that's all right. That's all right.
should have pre-warned.
Thor Ragnarok was actually pretty good. It was much funnier than I thought it would be, but it did it pretty well. There was a Star Wars movie that came out this year. Fun fact. I'm not saying it's honorable mention. I'm just saying the Star Wars movie came out this year.
Weird nipple things going on all over that movie.
You want to talk about scary? That was scary. I heard Get Out was amazing.
Oh yeah, no,
I haven't seen it.
The fact, if I need to see it, you need to see Get Out.
You know what? That sounds like a plan. I'm gonna give an honorable mention with a little backstory. The Dark Tower. It was not a great movie, but I finally got a Dark Tower movie, and I'm a huge fan of Stephen King and the whole Dark Tower mythos and stories and how they're connected to everything. So I can at least hang my hat on saying that the gunfights were pretty outstanding, if nothing else.
After finally reading the first 3-4 books, I think, I feel like it's a disservice to do anything Dark Tower without giving it like a full like HBO Showtime treatment.
Yeah,
because there's so much good in there.
Yes.
And I feel like you just can't tell a full story in hour and a half, 2 hours.
No, it was not long enough to do anything, and I don't know. It at least gave us something, and maybe because it was a failure, they'll reboot it with a TV show. Maybe they'll find out that's a better way to go, kind of go Game of Thrones style, because it's this. I mean, and we'll get into this later. I'm not going to dive too deep, but I mean, it covers every book Stephen King's written, basically. I mean, it is like the center of his like multiverse, and there's just literally no way that one movie could encompass all that.
Yeah.
The scope of the story.
See, and I don't know if Game of Thrones would be as popular if they went just a movie per book, right? And I know this covered, from what you were telling me, this covered like multiple books.
Kind of. It kind of had a little piece of this, a little piece of that. Like it kind of just pick and chose. Kind of 1, kind of 5, kind of, I guess, would be the best way to put it. Maybe I'm missing a little bit more there, but it definitely was a... If you watch that movie, don't think that was like... That's not the story of the Dark Tower. Like, that's not even a drop in the ocean. Like, that's like a, I don't know, a snowflake on Mount Everest or I don't know, some cool analogy. Just pretend I said something really awesome there. It doesn't even begin to tell the story, which is just amazing. So I guess those would be my honorable mentions.
No, all right.
There you go.
Well, I suppose we'll wrap up this episode of Chris Chronicles. It was fun taking over for a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for hosting for me.
It's kind of weird that I just got a show next door, but
Well, it's all right. I'll come over and hang out. I'll ask you some questions next. So yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, if Cody's on, maybe we'll get him up for one, see what he's up to. So.
All right. Well, anyways, you want to wrap us out? Wrap us out? That's kind of a weird way to put it out.
Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Leave us a like, a share, subscribe, all that jazz. If you disagree or agree, leave a comment. Tell me what your 3 favorite movies were. Tell us what your 3 favorite movies are. Was. Whatever. Facebook.com/Quarter-Cows. YouTube. Search for Quarter-Cows. We're still working on getting the real thing.
Yeah, we're trying to get to that level. So please subscribe to help us get to there.
Yes, yeah. And maybe we'll give you cookies. We won't, but we'll pretend that we're going to give you cookies.
We'll give you virtual cookies.
Virtual cookies. Those are even better. No calories. So, good for the waistline. But, yeah, thanks, guys, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Peace.